Africa must be free. Say it again. Africa must be free. Black power. Black power. Let me say this, Hashim is my friend. But he has gone across this country and he's flown in some brothers and sisters, first of all, who love their people. At the end of the day, we must consolidate the movement. And when I say consolidate the movement, regardless of your political persuasion, regardless of your ideology, regardless of economics, regardless of your education, regardless of your spiritual training or religion, until we consolidate the movement, we will never be taken seriously.
So myself and Chairman Hashim Nzinga and the Panther Party, together as a united front, has been double trouble on this cracker. And gonna be double trouble on this enemy as we move towards the future. Triple trouble. And now that we have teamed up again and joined up with Minister Louis Farrakhan, now that we've joined up with him and teamed up with him, and the masses of the people are moving, goddamn it, it's all over. It's all over for the city. This enemy is in control. America is burning down. Goddamn it, America wants justice over racism, and these racist cops, they're gonna start falling like dominoes. Oh yeah. Showdown time in the hells of North America. Showdown time in the hells of North America. So we're going to open up the questions, but let me just lay a few things out.
I'll just say for the record, all right? For the record, for the sake of our people moving forward, all right? Let's kill all the petty beef, because we got the enemy poised, ready to attack all.
Black power, black power, black family. This is Minister Hashim Nzinga, the National Chairman of the Black Panther Party. And unfortunately, there's a lot going on, and we needed to respond. I know a lot of you don't see me doing this every day because I'm really a person that is about the work. The Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad taught me that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught him, just do the work. So for 20-something years, we just been doing the work. Now, a lot of you hadn't heard from me, but you heard a lot about me. So today, I am going to talk to the black nation, the black family, because there's some healing processes needed to be started. But before the healing can start, we need to make sure this wound is not infected and make sure the proper devices and medication is used so we can be safe later. As you know, we're here because we, the new Black Panther Party, did something that we've been doing for years here in Atlanta. Right here, you see the National Black Power Conference or Convention. That was in 2010. And some of the people that tried to attack our summit was at this event in 2010. This took place at Morris Brown, and the year before that we were at Mike Roberts' Crown Plaza. The reason I bring them summits up is because there's different things being said and twisted and turned. We just want to be on the record, and we want to answer some of the critics step by step. One of the biggest issues is the name of the new Black Panther Party, which is very disturbing to me because I know everybody been Googling and reading the history. Brother Aaron Michaels started the party in Dallas, Texas in the late 80s, and he was drugged into court by the original Panthers, and he had to change the name from Black Panther to New Black Panther Party. After that, the New Black Panther Party went to work in the streets for our people and did a diligent and great work. Well, like in the SCLC, like in the new NAACP, like in SNCC and many other organizations, leadership changed over the years. And eventually there would come a time when the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad became the chairman of the New Black Panther Party. And there would come a time when Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz became the chairman of the New Black Panther Party. And then it would become a time when your minister Hashim Nzinga became the chairman of the Black Panther Party. It's just evolution and time. Some people think I'm new. Some people think I fell out of the clouds. Well, I want to set that story straight in a few seconds. But the first story I want to set straight is there's no organization that is put together to defend and protect black people that we don't need working in this hour. This is a critical time in history where our enemy is trying to turn back the hands of time. He's trying to keep us unemployed. He's trying to not give us any loans for businesses that we can start on our own. He used every tactic to disunify us. Now, he's killed our babies. He's destroyed our politicians. He's destroyed our school system. So we're definitely at dire need of unity, from the churches to the schools to our homes. So there's no time for us to be fighting and have inner fighting against each other. The thing that puzzled me the most about what's going on is, why wouldn't anyone want a group of black men and black sisters not working to benefit our people in this hour? That baffles me. And some people say, they read the internet and they say there's no new Black Panther Party. Well, they could have said that 20 years ago. They could have said that. But the truth is, once you last over 20 years, you're not a party any longer. You're not an organization any longer. You are an institution. So the new Black Panther Party has outlasted all the storms, all the FBI threats, all the COINTEL attacks, and we have became an institution. And if I stop leading tomorrow, somebody else will pick it up and lead it, because institutions are set up to be ran regardless of who's running. And I'm proud of that. And I thank Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz for his 12 years of service that set that in motion. And I thank the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad for his wisdom, his hours, and his sacrificing to spread this all around the nation. And I thank Brother Aaron Michaels for having the vision. We call Brother Aaron Michaels the visionary. We call Dr. Khalid Muhammad the history maker. And we call Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz the warrior. And with those three before me, the new Black Panther Party is an institution. Now, some things were said in a response of a press conference that I want to answer one at a time. Number one, when it comes to political prisoners, this is a paper that the new Black Panther Party did in 2005. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we was doing papers, putting them in the streets, raising money and trying to get people to write and help our political prisoners from the original Black Panther Party. We've been on that mission from day one. And our young brother and friend, Brother Fred Hampton, the son of Fred Jr., been in our papers since day one with the POCC and his mandate. We helped him get his message in the final call. We helped him get his message in our new Black Panther papers. So this is no new game for us. And I'm disappointed in people to say that we are coming to Atlanta, or we came to Atlanta with our summit and rushed it so we could win over the people of Atlanta. Well, let's set the record straight. The Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad has been coming to Atlanta, Georgia since the early 70s, when he was in the Nation of Islam. And then as the supreme captain of the Nation of Islam, in and out of Atlanta. And then running the mosque for Minister Farrakhan here in Atlanta. And then coming back as the national spokesman, living in Atlanta. And then the last 5 years of his life, he lived here in Atlanta and ran the new Black Panther Party from Atlanta. This was the new Black Panther Party headquarters. And I have been in Atlanta since 1980. So let's stop the lie that somehow we're sneaking in Atlanta without permission. I don't know permission of who. We don't have to have nobody down permission to work for our people. And we don't have to have nobody down permission to come into Atlanta, Georgia. I came to Atlanta, Georgia to go to college in 1980. We've been on this conference here was done in 2010, 5 years ago. We've been working in Atlanta just as much as anybody else. So stop fronting and faking like you own Atlanta, or you got to have permission or some kind of green card to come into Atlanta. Them days are over. Any black person who has good intentions and a good heart and want to fight for our people, you fight for our people anywhere on this earth. You don't have to have a signature to fight for our people. Let's stop that nonsense. Next, we looked at the press conference, and it starts by saying we were chased out of Charleston by our brother Al Sharpton. It's not true. We hadn't been chased out of anywhere. And what revolutionary who studied Malcolm X and studied brother H. Ralph Brown, when Malcolm X talked about by any means necessary, and the things that real revolutionaries say about revolution, and you want to speak that language, and then almost in a bragging matter, when a brother in Charleston, South Carolina was shot in the back by the pigs, and Attorney Shabazz went to fight his battle, met with his family, and then before we even got that matter solved in Charleston, South Carolina, 13 people in the church, 12 shot, 9 of our family members killed in that church in Charleston, South Carolina by a deranged, crazy, white, pathetic South African Klan roof. And before that ends, we have 7 churches burnt. So now we don't go to South Carolina in no posture of, hey, can we get along? Or we love you, and you burning our churches. And as you burning our churches, we in Columbia, South Carolina, fighting the Klan, and you sit there and almost brag that some civil rights organization tried to chase us out for rounding up our people and organizing with other revolutionary organizations so we could benefit our people and take the fear out of our people and stand up our people. You'll be out of your mind to think you can talk to the black nation and mention that we was ran out of South Carolina and people will applaud you. Why in the hell would black people applaud you when a massacre like Rosewood, like Black Wall Street, like the 16th Street when they bombed the churches and the babies died? How can you brag? You should wish we was there, and you should have been there with us. If anybody thinking and questioning you on that, where were you when we were getting chased out of South Carolina? If we were getting chased out of South Carolina, where were you? And then they had the audacity to act like then we rushed to Atlanta. Our summit was set up months before Charleston, South Carolina. And it's something we do annually and regularly. So stop fronting. And then to end and start wrapping up your presentation with, now the original Panther Party has to fear us attacking their 49th gathering. We have never attacked the original Panther Party. We praise the original Panther Party. So stop turning and tricking our people with trick language. You attack our summit. That's something you do. And it's something in your history and it's something in your past that you do regularly. Attack black people. But I ain't found one Google. I ain't found one newspaper. I ain't found one clipping of you attacking the white enemy. So we don't attack our people. And anything we can do for the original party when it get here for its 49th anniversary or 49th convention, we will do to benefit it like we always have. That's our history. Now, as far as the summit, everybody know now and everybody read that these certain people plotted against the black nation, plotted against the rise of the black nation. When they plotted against a summit that you can go to www.newblackpanther.com and look at the outlay on the summit. I left it on the website on purpose. beautiful program at a time we need it the most. Some elders, some young, some old, every advisor from every different situation we can come in, from reparations to learning how to defend our communities, from lawyers telling us how to defend ourselves against police, to billionaires telling us about economic development. The 3-day summit was a summit to help our people, to encourage our people, to give our people a boost, and for somebody to say we did something to our elder. When we had Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, 50 years married, 50 years teaching African American studies, and we paid for, out of our own pockets, a sit-down banquet of 150 people eating as we celebrate their lives. We had the original Panther, Mikasa Rick, and his wife, 40 years celebrating their lives. Brother Shabazz and his wife, 30 years celebrating their lives. We were getting tribute to elders like we always done. So don't start teaching the people falsehood that we disrespect our elders when we had just spent $3,200 to sit our elders down at a banquet. Revolutionaries never get to sit at banquets. Most of the time, it's the NAACP, it's the Trumpet Awards, and on and on. But for the new Black Panther Party to get together and raise the money and sit down our people and show homage and respect to our elders, and you come in there being a hypocrite like that, you'll be shaming yourself, man. Them damn lies, man. Then you go on the internet, Operation Shutdown in Atlanta, Georgia, shut down a Black Power Summit, when the week before that, the Klan was on Stone Mountain chasing our people with guns. I didn't see you say Operation Shutdown Klan. Where were you then? Where were you then, man? You're just jealous, man, and chicken-hearted. And jealousy turned to envy, and envy turned to poison. And that's what's destroyed the unity in this nation, and it confuses the people. And you need to get off your lazy asses and go tell the truth. You came in that summit with a hateful heart and envy in your heart. And a week before that, my attorney called me. And I said I would sit with you, brother, because I don't have nothing against you. My organization don't have nothing against you. You didn't want to sit with me then, and you don't want to sit with me now. And Kalungi was talked to by my chief of staff. And he told my chief of staff he was going to shut it down. So now you're coming in there like, everything is so, they jumped on us. No, brother. What we did, we defended the children, the babies, and the women in that congregation. You had no business coming in there with foul intentions and with weapons. You had no business attacking our stage and attacking our keynote speaker. You were told to sit down. And we hadn't done a summit yet that Kalungi ain't spoke at. And was one I guessed at. So he know he can come in and sit down. And he know we're going to take all questions because we ain't got nothing to hide. And you know this. And then when the so-called split came between the Panther Party, you went on the side of the sister and went to her summit and talked against us. So don't be coming in here talking like olive leaves need to be given out. When you try to destroy your brother for no reason. When you lie on your brother for no reason. When you talk against your brother for no reason. When you attack your brother for no reason. And you took 45 days on Operation Shutdown. 45 days on the phone. 45 days of calling our guests, trying to discourage them from coming. You did everything in your power to shut our summit down. Then when you couldn't shut it down, and after 45 days, all you could gather was 6 people, look like kids and babies, and come in there with that mess. And you want to say you're an elder. If you was an elder, you would have sit at the banquet table, just like we did a couple of years ago, and we would have acknowledged you, and we would have praised you. But you're so damn hateful, so damn evil, and messed up in the mind for whatever reason. I don't have nothing to do with that. Because all I do is work for the people, man. And so with all of these books and all of these knowledge, Naeem Akbar, George Jackson, 100 years of lynching, I want this foolishness to stop, but the truth got to be told. Now, as far as the new Black Panther name, Aaron Michaels was working in Dallas, Texas when I met him at KKDA, a radio station. Some of us would remember it because Tom Joyner was the morning jock. And he flew from Dallas, Texas to Chicago every day, and he started the fly jock. And on another station there, KKDA, Willis Johnson was the morning director, and I lived in Dallas, Fort Worth area. And I ran an organization called Maya. And I would bring in people like H. Ralph Brown, Brother Jamil Amin, Brother Stokely Carmichael, Chromie Teray. I would bring in John Henry Clark. I would bring in Naeem Akbar. I would bring in Amos Wilson. I would bring in Tony Martin. I would bring in Betty Shabazz. I would bring in people to give our people conscious lectures. So it was a commissioner by the name of John Wally Price who had a radio show called Talkback. And his assistant was a great sister named Cheryl Smith. And his program director, who worked the boards for him doing the shows, was none other than my brother Aaron Michaels. And we used to come in, and of course, if you bring in Tony Martin, Steve Coakley, and all of these people to town, well, Talkback was a black conscious radio show. So they wanted my guests on their show. So it was made in unity that every time I would bring a guest, we would go sit and be with Brother John Wiley Price, and I would get to see Brother Aaron Michaels. And we would build, and we would enjoy each other's company. Well, one night they had a brother named Willie McGee from Milwaukee who had started the Black Panthers militia. And after that, I heard Brother Aaron Michaels was starting a new Black Panther Party. And he did. And at that time, Brother Aaron Michaels started having classes for the new Black Panther Party on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Martin Luther King Library. And at that time, I was meeting with Maya, Metro African American Think Tank. I had over 150 members. And we would come through, we would speak to Brother Aaron, Brother David, Brother Robert, and all the rest. And eventually other Panthers, Brother DK. And we bonded, and we had a family situation. And eventually, when I would do my lectures, they would come. And it came a time when I outgrew the library, and we moved to our own building, and I didn't get to see Aaron Michaels and them on a regular basis. But I love the new Black Panther Party, and I love what they were trying to do and what they were doing. But at that time, they maybe had one chapter, maybe two at the most, and they were trying to grow the chapters. Well, eventually, the think tank would bring the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad to Dallas, Texas to speak, and to Fort Worth, Texas, Houston, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. I toured Dr. Khalid through the entire state of Texas. And the think tank had some soldiers, and then I got with the FOI, who had soldiers, and I went to Brother Aaron Michaels. And so with that trio, we did security for our great minds that was coming through racist George Bush, Dallas, Texas. And eventually, I would become Dr. Khalid's assistant, not under the new Black Panther Party, but his assistant. I was his personal assistant. And we traveled the country doing lectures. And eventually he would take me to Howard University and meet the young warrior attorney, Malik Zulu Shabazz, who was running Unity Nation. And you all know that day I met him, because the day I met him, Dr. Khalid did one of his most profound lectures of all times, the Black Holocaust, at Howard University with Tony Martin, Steve Coakley, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz. And it tore the world up. And eventually, me and Dr. Khalid and Malik, we would start making sure Dr. Khalid worked around the country, and we would end up in Riverside, California, where an assassination attempt on Doc's life was taken by James Best, an ex-member of the Nation of Islam. And as Doc laid in the hospital room, James Best shot Doc, myself, and three other people. And as we were in the hospital, Doc told me, when we leave, take him somewhere, but don't tell him where I'm taking him, because he wanted to figure out where this assassination attempt came from. So I took him to my house in Arlington, Texas for a day or two. Then we took him to Sister Cheryl Smith's house which was John Wiley Price, the county commissioner assistant. And at that time, I asked Brother Aaron Michaels and others, could they help protect him while he was in Dallas? And they came to the rescue. And somehow in that meeting, in that month, Doc was healing in Dallas with Dr. Ed Sims, Brother Man Comic Book Family, and others coming to his rescue, and black doctors coming. We all built a family order. And what came out of that was a relationship between Aaron Michaels and Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Aaron Michaels was more of a local person at that time that had started an international group. Dr. Khalid was an international leader, being in the Nation of Islam 30 years, 20 years, Supreme Captain of the FOI, 10 years as Minister Farrakhan, national spokesman, going to Libya with Gaddafi, going to Uganda with Idi Amin, traveling the world, building as Malcolm did. So somehow, Doc and Aaron bond, and Dr. Khalid Muhammad became the chairman of the New Black Panther Party, and somewhere in the area of 30 to 36 chapters spread it out across America overnight. Doc would be at the helm of the New Black Panther parties until 2001, when he fell ill in Marietta, Georgia, and made his spiritual transition. The Panther Party would come together and regroup, and under a leadership of Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz would run the Black Panther Party for the next 12 years, National Chief of Staff for 4 years. I was Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, National Chief of Staff for 12 years. So I've been in the New Black Panther Party practically 17, 18 years. When Attorney Shabazz wanted to go back to his first love, which was an organization he started at Howard University in the early 90s, Black Lawyers for Justice, because he said we got to start winning battles in the courtroom. This is where we're losing at. I need to spend more time in the courtroom. He stepped down as the chairman of the New Black Panther Party, 2013. In our manual, it said that the chief of staff, if the chairman steps down or resign, the chief of staff would become the chairman of the New Black Panther Party. I fought it off. I begged him to stay because he was the longest lasting of any Black Panther formation chairman, and he did a hell of a job. But it was time for him to move to higher grounds. He would still remain our advisor and would still remain with us, but I stepped up as chairman, and there was, anytime chairmanship change hands, there's going to be splits. So there's a couple of splinter groups that's out there doing great work. I have nothing bad to say about them, no matter what they say about me. But I am mandated by the Honorable Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and by my ancestors, and by my father and mother and my DNA, and by our people, to lead when I get the call. So I got the call, and we've been working all over the nation, and we will continue to work all over the nation for the benefit of black people. So I don't understand why people are hating on the New Black Panther Party, but I would say this: stop it immediately. It's nonsense. It's a waste of time. And for this brother to get on that tape and to say they a hate group, they got chased out of Charleston by Al Sharpton. This man don't brag on Al Sharpton. This man brag on revolution every day of his life. And for them to start letting the Jew and the white man and the media cast that we are haters, and then lay down red carpet for the original Panthers. It's a game. Everybody loves Malcolm X now. Malcolm is on United States stamps. Malcolm is on United States streets. Do you think Malcolm would have been on United States stamps and on United named streets after Malcolm when he was on that ladder on 125th in Harlem talking about crushing this white man? It's easy to worship somebody when they're gone. Do you think Dr. King was getting streets named after him when he was talking about the war in Vietnam? No, the FBI was plotting to assassinate him in Memphis, Tennessee. So when you're dead, everybody give you homage. So the original Panther Party now get homage from the white man. But they wasn't getting no homage from the white man when Bobby Seals walked into the Capitol walked up on Ronald Reagan and cocked that shotgun, they wasn't getting homage when they say power grows from the barrel of a shotgun, when they was having shootouts with the police, when they was attacking police stations. When the original Panther Party was up and alive, they terrorized America. They wasn't no love group. They wasn't putting flowers in people's rifles. They were fighting. That's why some of them are out of this, excuse me, that's why some of them are out of the country now, to this day. That's why some of them are in jail to this day. That's why some of them are in crazy assignments to this day. That's why some of them are still being chased by the FBI and COINTELPRO is still going on to this day. That's why some of them left to this day. That's why the organization came to a halt, because the white man used every weapon it could to shut it down. And we learned from that. And the white man has popped his head up again on the cubs and the grandkids of the original party. In the original party, we love you. We respect you. When you put this patch on that says freedom or death over your heart, it's like a bullseye in white America. It's not to be glorified. Every day of your life, you live with somebody chasing you, recording you, following you. So we didn't pick this up to be celebrities. We picked this up because we're freedom fighters and we feel your pain. We felt what done to you. And the two greatest days of my life is when I was in second grade in Kansas City, trying to cross the street to go to the store to buy some candy with my brothers, and a Black Panther helped us across the street in Kansas City, Missouri. I'll never forget looking up at that black man and wondering who he was. And the second was when a Muslim knocked on my mother's door in Texas and sold us some fish and had so much decency and respect. Them was the first two black men as a child I saw that was different. And so here we are, 53 years old, trying to do what's right for our people. And all we ask is give us a fair chance. Look at our 20-year history and look at everything with a critical eye. There's time to analyze, and there's times to realize we are in a time where we have been set back 30 years, and our young people are watching, and our elders are watching, and the warriors are watching. So I just say, from the national seat of the new Black Panther Party, we want peace among the black family, but truth has to come first, and nobody will stop us from fighting for our people in a time where we're being slaughtered in the streets. Here in America and in every other nation you look in, we're being attacked. So for the ones who want to fight with us, join us and fight with us. For the ones who don't want to fight with us, let us fight. Let us fight the good fight. And we're willing to sit down at any time, as long as we're dealing with truth. And your scorecard is your scorecard. But our scorecard is our scorecard. And for 20 years, we got some pretty good marks on our scorecard. It ain't been a battle nowhere in America that we ain't showed up and fought for our people. And we're going to continue to do that. So, for you to think we attacked our elder, we didn't. For you to attack that we plotted against our elder, we didn't. We were plotted up on, and we responded on an attack that could have led to assassination of me or some of our leaders. And so we have to do what we have to do. But at the same time, our business is building a black unified front, a black nation that can be well respected by our ancestors who died and who served us well. Black power.